AutoCAD users. Meet the man behind these incredibly cool designs and inventions, Eddie Paul.
I guess you gathered that I'm not exactly a normal guy. In fact, a lot of people wonder if I'm even human. We do so much stuff at the shop. I like tools. I work with tools a lot. I've worked with tools my whole life. My dad worked with tools. So I've learned to build anything, and you can build anything as long as there's money and time, and there never seems to be enough of each. But I started with AutoCAD way back, I think, with version 1. I went from the drafting table to AutoCAD 1 and worked my way on through to the latest version that I have now. And it's been an asset in our business. It's the reason we're one of the #1 in Hollywood as far as building weird things. It's like we get the job when nobody else in their right mind would accept it and there's no time left. They call us and we do it. So it's been a rush. And we've gotten a lot done because of it. One of the big features I found in AutoCAD is, like I say, it's a universal language. We have guys in our shop that come from south of the border that do not speak English, and I cannot learn Spanish. And I go out, and it's funny, when they fill out the application for work, they speak perfect English. When we have a problem in the shop, they no longer speak English. So we started communicating in AutoCAD. I'll make a drawing. I don't even bother talking to them. I go out and I hand them the drawing, say, comprende, and yeah, we understand. And then they go ahead and make it. The nice thing is there's also a record. If I say mill this down 20 thousandths of an inch, and it's 30 thousandths, go back to the drawing. I can say, look, it says 20 thousandths. This is bilingual. This is what you're supposed to do. So it solved a lot of problems for us. It's been a real asset in the shop, and I go to anybody in our shop. We're doing something in wood, plastic, vacuum forming, hand them a drawing, they know what to do, and then the rest of the conversation is just idle conversation, how you doing, how's wife and family. One of the examples I could give on a really neat project we had was many years ago. I don't want to tell you how long because then you'll know how old I am. There was this guy named Jacques Cousteau that was doing a TV special, and he had handed on to his son, Jean-Michel Cousteau, the project of doing a shark, and they wanted something built. But it started out with filming a shark, and it started with the filming of a small blue shark. It was about 3 feet long, and they asked if I could build a giant tripod that's never been done. As I believe a 20-foot tripod to go underwater, so it had to be made of stainless steel and aluminum and corrosion resistant, and then take it out in the ocean, put it on the bottom so that the camera is stable, and then they wanted a little tiny shark to come swim in the camera, and that was all they needed, was that one little 2-second shot. So they found out I was a diver, and they asked me to build it, and then they asked me to come along and put it on the bottom for them. So I went ahead and volunteered to do that, went down and put it on the bottom. Then they said, well, can you stick around while we film? I'm sure, I'd love to stick around and watch you film. So we chummed up a little blue shark, and we got him swimming toward us. They put the camera on. This is film, it wasn't video, so it was costly. We had to pull the camera out each time and reload it. So we got the shark swimming. He would swim toward camera, then turn left. Then he'd swim toward camera and turn right. Then he'd come toward camera and go up or go down or do backflips. I mean, he would do everything except what we wanted, which was swim just straight at camera, relax, we need the shot. So after a week, we were having dinner on the ship and commenting, just idly passing time, and Jean-Michel said, what would you all like to do, once you get a real job, when you leave us? And comments like, I want to have a farm, I want to build a house. Anyway, he got around to me and he said, what would you like to do? I said, I've always wanted to build a shark. I built cars, I built motorcycles, I built aircraft, never gotten to build a shark. And they look pretty simple, they just move their tail, they have no expressions. So anyway, that was basically it. The next morning, I was on an airplane back to California. Not for anything I said, but my time was up. So I came back and pretty much forgot about the incident. I was back in Hollywood building cars. I got a phone call from Jean-Michel Cousteau's secretary, who said, Eddie, Jean-Michel said, build the shark. So I got kind of excited because that was a neat challenge. It wasn't about the money, it was about the challenge of building a shark that swims. So I was working on AutoCAD, I started sketching one out, getting the proportions, started with a block, moved it down to a little more finalized design, and I made this small shark about that long. And so Jean-Michel was in town, he wanted to see how the shark was doing. This is the following week. I said, well, come on by, I'll show it to you. Came by, looked at the shark, and he said, oh, it's very nice. He says, oh, well, where's the shark? And I'm thinking, what, the guy's brain dead or something? This is the shark. I said, it doesn't have the skin on it, but this is the shark. He goes, no, you misunderstand. Says, we were shooting blue sharks, now we're shooting great whites in Australia. I go, oh, and I'm thinking, great whites are bigger than blues. I go, oh, that shark, that's almost done. It'll be another 2 weeks. So he was happy with that. I didn't have to show him anything, fortunately. So he takes off, and I went out to the garage, and I first went to AutoCAD and started scaling it up, which is really easy. Scaled it up a bunch, and then started ordering materials and building the shark. I finished the shark in the 2 weeks, and I called and said, okay, your shark's ready. You can send somebody by to pick it up. And they said, well, we were kind of hoping you'd bring it. I'm thinking, this is a 10-foot gray white shark. The airlines kind of frowns on that. I can't put it on the seat next to me, so they set up to have a shipping company transport the shark, and then I jumped on an airplane to go to Dangerous Reef, Australia. And he said, well, I assume since you built it, you know how to operate it. So obviously I wound up being in the water with him, operating the shark. It was set up on an umbilical. As you move a little control stick, it ran off compressed air. The little umbilicals would go to the shark, inside of the shark, and I had a 150-foot umbilical, so I could move the tail back and forth, and the shark would swim with the other sharks. We put it in the water, and after about 15 minutes of swimming, everybody kind of agreed that it's boring. It's a shark, a mechanical shark swimming with a real shark, which is good on TV for 3 seconds. They said, okay, let's do something different. Let's have it get eaten. Okay, well, how do you do that? So we played with different ideas. I finally wound up making it swim erratic by moving the joystick kind of jerky. The shark started acting like it was injured. And as soon as we did that, a 17-foot shark swam up and took a bite out of the gill.